guys, what's up? It's Katie and I'm back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video, and the Civil Warrior buff is out, and I've always been a huge fan of Civil Warrior. He's always had a good kit, just, well, garbage damage. I mean, he's had heal block, he's had power control, he just hit like a wet noodle. So with the introduction of the new buff, he was able to gain Furies by converting armor ups into Furies just by dashing back and holding block, which is always a nice little thing. Right now he can stack up to 50 Furies, which is ideal, but kind of impractical from a standpoint. So let's talk about his buff. So I decided to bring him in here into Act 7.1. This is the masochism path. So they're gonna heal every time a debuff is applied to them. So I was like, great, we can just use the heal block and go from there. If we need to power control, we got that. So let's talk about his heal block. So pre-buff, he had a 95% chance to inflict a heal block. Now he has a 100% chance to inflict a heal block for 10 seconds. Now, when you activate a special attack, it will pause the heal block on the opponent for 6 seconds, which is nice. Now, Nebula's a little tricky here, right? Because once she gains up shock, she gets ability accuracy reduction, so the heal block doesn't always trigger. All right, so let's continue on here. So he's a good option for heal blockers. Now, let's talk about his Furies. So like I said before, whenever you have armor ups and you dash back and you hold block for 1.2 seconds, you don't gotta count, there's a timer. You can see that little orange circle? That's converting the armor ups into Furies. Now, the problem that I have with this is to notice any real damage, you need to get upwards of 10 Furies. So it's easy to get and maintain. You just kind of got to watch when they're going to expire. If they're going to expire rather soon, go ahead, dash back and hold block so it converts your armor ups into the Furies and it'll refresh those Furies, which is nice. Now, this is where I kind of have a little bit of an issue here because pre-buff Civil Warrior, he had ability accuracy reduction, right? He had 15% ability accuracy reduction per armor up. Well, kabam got rid of that. And I don't like the fact that they got rid of the ability accuracy reduction while the damage is nice. I would have much rather had maybe, you know, them still keep the ability accuracy reduction and maybe capped the Furies a little bit less. All right, so now what I want to talk a little bit about is I want to talk about his immunities because they really gave him some interesting immunities here because like before, right, he, excuse me, oh my, he was kind of technically immune to poison and bleed if he had enough armor ups. So pre-buff, he gained 15% poison and bleed damage resistance for each stack of armor up. Well, now that's been converted to 25%, and he's also immune to nullify and stagger. But here's the problem, is you are now trading damage for utility. Now, while you can technically, right, you can technically have the Furies and the armor up buffs up at the same time. That's fine. But if you mistakenly dash back and hold block, you're going to convert those armor ups into Furies. So what that means is if you're on a node like Caltrops or Biohazard and you accidentally convert those armor ups into Furies, you're going to be taking the full brunt of that damage from that node. So you want to kind of keep that in mind. And also, this guy, not suicide friendly. While on paper he might seem like it, right, because of the bleed and poison reduction per armor up, but he's really not, because you're going to be throwing a good many specials with him, especially in longer fights, because if you want to build up your armor ups, you're going to be throwing special ones to get 4 armor ups per special one. If you want power control, you're going to be throwing the special 2s. Now, this guy is GOAT. I mean, he is a really good power control champ now. I mean, he was good before, but they really upped his power control. So let's talk about that, right? Because his special attacks, his special 2 is now you power burn 2 bars of power, dealing direct damage to what was proportional to what was lost. So he can do a good amount of damage if you launch your special 2 when they have a good amount of power. So you want to kind of keep that in mind as you're playing Civil Warrior. So what are, I guess, my final thoughts on this buff? I think kabam did a very good job with buffing Civil Warrior. We all know he needed it. He had a good kit. He just had garbage damage. adding the Furies to him was a big help. And also, you know, upping his power control was a really good step too. Now, he had power control before, but it's even better now. So overall, I'm really pleased with the Civil Warrior buff. You just kind of got to know how you need to play him. Do you need to heal block? Do you need to power control? Do you want damage, or do you want immunities? So it's kind of all dependent upon what you need. He's a good option for someone if you don't have, let's say, a Warlock or a Vision or a good champ like that who can power control and heal block. So he's a good fit in there if you don't have someone like that on your roster. You just got to know when to build the Furies and when to keep your armors. That's the only thing that you really need to pay attention to with Civil Warrior. But overall, I'm pleased with his buff. If you want to see any increase in damage, like I said, you want to get upwards of 10 Furies on him, and then you're going to start to notice a change in his damage. Anything less than that, it's going to be kind of negligible, because this is a rank 3 Sig 200 6-star. So kind of keep that in mind as you're watching this gameplay. But anyways, guys, that's all that I got. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the Civil Warrior buff? Do you think Kabam did him justice with his buff, or do you think they should have changed something or added something, or maybe kept his ability accuracy reduction? Let me know in the comments below and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and enjoy this quick word from Kevin Smith.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith, and if you enjoyed the mediocre Mcoc video full of scrub gameplay, then show Katy some love by hitting like and subscribe, man. Katy don't ask for much. Katy did ask for this. Katy did. So do like Katy did and bug people and get you to like and subscribe, man. She's doing that Mcoc beautifully. Not mediocre.